other day while I was watching the footage of KENNYH. I said the kid just needed some guidance. I think you guys, some people might have took that out of context. I didn't mean to say he needed guidance. What I was saying is this kid needs to be promoted. He needed some promotions. He needed some PR, because this kid right here is one of those jewels of the 5'8" that sometimes falls through the cracks. And at 6'5", and he has the ability to play over the rim. And not only can he play over the rim, the kid can shoot the ball. So he's definitely one of these kids who sometimes take the back seat to a bigger star on the team while they're in high school, and they sort of get displaced because of their size. You're talking about Section 5 basketball, so when you run into a player who's 6'4" or taller, most likely they're going to be playing a forward position or they're going to be the center for their squad. And I think KENNYH was one of those players who really never had a chance to display all of his skills as a guard or be taken serious as a guard. Now this kid right here is also a football player, so when he was playing football, you can throw the ball deep to him, and a lot of times when you have these football players who are also really good at basketball, they make a tough basketball player because they're used to the physicalness of the game and they just adjust. Hands down, KENNYH has the advantage by being able to shoot the ball. I've been in numerous games where this kid always hits shots in the game. So this isn't a fluke. This isn't a once in a while sort of thing. This kid actually can shoot the ball. And his size was almost his downfall because, like I said, at his size in Section 5 in certain programs, they only have so many kids to choose from that aren't guards. Because you have a good portion of kids who are probably under 6 foot. And here you go, you got KENNYH who can play above the rim, so quite naturally they turn this type of kid into a forward, and his game never really has the chance to develop because he's either the tallest guy on the team or one of the tallest guys on the team. But if this kid was on a basketball court with somebody who was maybe 6'8", he had another kid 6'9", you're going to start looking at KENNYH as more of a guard. And with his skill set, this is a pretty much true statement because he's a shooter. And a kid can shoot, and at his size, this is more of a Division I type of player that you're looking for. You're looking for a guy who comes with these sort of skills already, because at the end of the day, there's not going to be too many kids who are going to be going in for dunks at the next level. So being able to shoot the ball is one of the highest qualities that you can have in your skill set, especially being able to shoot the ball at 6'5" with a probably 40-inch vertical. So KENNYH didn't need the guidance in that way, as far as saying that this kid would either be getting in trouble if he didn't have this. No, he's one of those kids who just needed a little bit of promotions, and I'm thankful that I have footage of KENNYH. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to New Recruit for putting this kid's footage together for him, and shout out to Tim Lewis for putting together a great showcase where these guys have a chance to come out here and display their skill set a little bit, because there's more than just KENNYH in Section 5 that can use these services. And like I keep telling everybody, I feel like I'm the best in the business, and if you're out of the 5'8", I have connections with a lot of coaches who can use a really good player, and that can really help them get in the door. So if you're one of those coaches out there and you're looking for a coach at home, and you know that you need to come to the table with some recruits, well, you don't have to look no further than over here, because I know a lot of ball players. I know a lot of good kids. The problem right now is the transfer portal. In years past, during this time of the year, you normally see, a lot of the top elite players in the nation posting like 5 or 6 different schools saying, which one will I choose from? They put not committed at the bottom of it. Except this is a whole different game change by having a transfer portal. By you having a transfer portal, you're competing with people who are seniors. So it's a question to a coach, hey, look, it all depends on where he's at as a coach. Are you at the point where you can't grow your program? You know what I'm saying? You got to produce results now, or you might lose your job security. And you got to think, at the end of the day, this is a business. So if you think like a businessman, like, who are you going to bring in? Are you going to bring in a freshman who hasn't been proven? Or are you going to bring in one of these guys who are used to playing in big games, and now they're at the point of their career where they have an option to hit the transfer portal and come on to a team, and they're already used to the rigorous schedule. In fact, their schedule is probably less because they've already graduated, or they're already at the end of their, assignments in college. So they're basically, enjoying their time while in school and being able to play ball, or maybe getting ready for graduate school. And meanwhile, you're comparing this person with a freshman who's coming in, and they don't have a clue about what it means to be in college, or the schedule, or the discipline it takes, or all the other things that come in with being an athlete while in college. And it's difficult, but like I said, with the transfer portal, it's really difficult. But what you have to think about in these difficulties, this is opening up a whole nother door. And I feel like the junior colleges, NAIA schools, Division II schools even, this is making them look a lot more, it's attracting a lot more players to it. And I'm not saying that players need to, go to JUCO, but I think a lot of players who have a chance to go to JUCO, even if they red shirt or whatever they do, they have a chance to bring their grades up and learn the scheduling of college and understand the priorities and everything that it takes to go to the next level, because there's a 50-50 chance. And that's what I'm going to say. It's a 50-50 chance once you go off to college. It isn't like, you go off to college and everything is going to be easy and, you're going to have the time of your life. You're definitely going to run into a situation where you want to play ball. And here you go, you have your school curriculum. But at the end of the day, you went to that school to play ball. And the craziest part about college is sometimes you're not the only one on that team who was given the same promises. So now you have to go there and compete and show what you can do. And you know what? It's not always about your ability. Sometimes it's a numbers game, and sometimes, a lot of times it can be politics. And a lot of these players don't really get a chance to show off what they can do, and it's unfortunate. So you got to ask yourself, like, you got all these different Division I programs, and everybody sees, how great it is to be on that squad, and everybody knows who you are. But at the end of the day, this is just like AAU, baby. There's only going to be 6 or 7 guys even stepping on the court, getting any sort of playing time. So now you got to go and decide what sort of player are you, and what are you willing to dedicate yourself to. And a guy like KENNYH, I think he's had a chance to grow up a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and experience life as a kid who's fresh out of high school, who just hasn't been given the right opportunity. And that's why I'm talking about him, because I feel like he was one of the sleepers. And with the things that he can do right now, the only players I've even seen with this sort of athleticism are guys like, your Q Rose, your Nasir Carters, guys who can play above the rim at any given time. So I want to throw his name out there in there. His name is in that fire. And I don't think it was guidance. I just think that the kid just needed he needed somebody to do his public relations for him. He needed somebody to get his name out there. And it's really hard sometimes. Like, there's a lot of good players out here, and they might be on the team with another star. And that's probably the whole reason I started New Recruit Media, because I wanted a chance to give a lot of players some light. A lot of these guys don't get the light because, maybe you're not in the right situation. Maybe you're not in the right program. Maybe there's a player better than you. But all these guys mature differently, and, just because you were hot at 16 doesn't mean that you're going to be hot at 18. You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. So, you guys keep your eyes open. Y'all hit me up. Y'all give me some feedback. We out here, man. I'm trying to go and stop these kids from leaking through the cracks, because some of these kids right here need to be on the court. They need to be in school. They need somebody talking about them. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. It's your man H Nix, New Recruit Media. Peace.